What up, everybody? Okay, today we're going to be taking a look at Mortal Kombat 12 DLC characters. To be more specific, horror pack DLC characters that we might see in Mortal Kombat 12. This is all unconfirmed, okay? We don't know what the game is going to be. We know it's going to be Mortal Kombat 12. There's no guarantee of a horror pack. But it'd be sick if they did a horror pack of DLC characters. The first tier is going to be just the top 4 who I think are going to be in the actual pack. And then, as you can see, it goes down likely, not likely, and then no chance. I picked out characters that I thought were appropriate for this. There's probably a couple I missed. So if you see anybody that you think deserves to be on this list, let me know in the comments. And I'm just going to go through them one by one. All right. The first character here is Beetlejuice. Now, Beetlejuice, very interesting character. I believe they're going to be making a remake of Beetlejuice at some point. I thought maybe I heard that was in the works at some point. I don't know if it still is or not. If it was, that would certainly increase the chances of him being in the game. I know they like to kind of sync up movie releases on some of these franchised characters. Putting them as DLC. I wanted to say one more thing too. I didn't put in any of the other characters like Rambo or RoboCop because, to me, those aren't technically horror characters. Maybe RoboCop, you could justify RoboCop, but I don't think the tone fits horror. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's hard to say. I just wouldn't put RoboCop in that realm. I'd put him more of an action character. So. But back to Beetlejuice here. Beetlejuice doesn't really have a tremendous kill count. He's a very cool character, and I think he could have some creative things that he could do in the game. There's the whole thing with the sandworm. Just a lot of lore to draw from. Visually, that could be super cool for a character like this. But I'm gonna put him in the not likely chance. Just because I just don't think, he doesn't have the kills under his belt, so I don't know. I'm just not feeling it, really. Okay, Candyman up next here. As you can see, he's got some bees on his face. He's got some honey glazed candy face. I think that Candyman, definitely a classic horror character, has the movie filmography, to establish himself as a legitimate franchise. There was a new Candyman movie that came out recently as well. It was pretty good. There were some kills in there. I don't know that he's unlikely. Yeah, I think that he might be in the likely section. He kind of rides the line, but I think visually he has some really cool stuff. He's got some kills under his belt, so I think that I'm gonna put him in the likely section. I think he could be cool too. Okay, Charles Lee Ray, the Killer Doll himself. You can't think of Killer Dolls without thinking about the Mac Daddy of them all, Chucky. This would go for, I would just assume, like, I didn't put in Bride of Chucky or anything like that in here. It would be assumed that they would, do additional skins and, different things like that. Similar to what they did in Injustice 2 with Iceman and Mr. Freeze. You could, like, switch out the skins and it would be a different voice actor and everything, too. I think that could be cool. Man, he is a classic franchise horror character. What concerns me about this character would just be the hitbox and all those different issues with the character itself. It could be a little weird. I mean, they've done smaller characters before, shrinking characters like Adam in Injustice 2. But I think there would be some obstacles with him just because of the size. So at the same time, you know, he is a very, you know, I mean, he's in pop culture right now. He has the TV show, you know, which is quite good. You know, I love the kills in the show. I'm still going to put him in likely. I think if they could figure out the technical issues, he could be a really sick character for Mortal Kombat 12. All right, next up, we got the Exorcist. Man, this character is so scary. You know, when you think of horror, and I was like, man, Exorcist, should I even put him on the list? Well, you know, it's just the more and more I think about the movie, the more scared I get, you know? I mean, these characters are just absolutely frightening. At the same time, you know, maybe he's got a couple of kills under the belt. You know, I just don't see it at all. I just don't know what they would do with this character. I mean, it's just such a dark movie and a dark franchise. I have the feeling that it's going to be no chance, actually. This is going to be our first no chance, even though the character is quite scary. You know, it could be interesting, but the character is just too dark. And I don't think it kind of fits in with, you know, some of the other type of medium platforms that some of these other characters have been able to branch over to, as far as like comics and toys and TV shows and things like that. So I think, I think the chance is very low. Okay, Freddy Krueger, man, this guy was already in Mortal Kombat. He was in Mortal Kombat 9. And from what I understand, even though I've never played Mortal Kombat 9, I mean, I have casually. From what I understand, though, competitively, this character was at the top, in the top rankings. And I have a feeling he's going to be in the top ranking on this tier list as well. I think he's going to be one of the possible returning characters in Mortal Kombat 12. I think he's going to make a comeback. Ed Boon's already hinted at possibly bringing back other, you know, previous DLC characters for a second shot. And I think this might be one of them. All right, next up, we got the Ghostface Killer. Yo, this character right here has been popping off recently. I feel like there's a new Scream movie coming out every single year. And I believe at the time of this recording, there's actually a Scream movie out right now in theaters. So this character's been doing his thing. I saw the previous one and it was pretty good. You know, this character's definitely got a lot of kills. I think it could be a very interesting character at face value. You know, it's a guy in a mask, but you know, in the franchise, there's always more than one of them. So I think there's some possibilities for like some stunt double type opportunities. You know, multiple ghost faces running around the screen. So I think that could be interesting. I think this character has the star power to make it up to possibly top 4 here. I think as a new character coming into the franchise, you know, he's kind of one of those horror superstars that I think could really do some work here. So I'm going to put him in the top 4 right there. All right, next up we got the Grudge character. Oh, you know, these characters were pretty creepy in the early 2000s. You know, the weird movements. There's a character that kind of is like this in Killer Instinct, I think. It's kind of like a ghost type character, like a I don't know, maybe just in looks only. I'm not 100% sure. But I think that this character could possibly be in the game, although to me it is not likely, just because it's a little obscure. The Grudge at this point has not been doing much or you know, kind of releasing any content Grudge content recently, so kind of been on the back burner a little bit with this franchise. So just because of that, I think that, you know, Mortal Kombat's going to choose, you know, they're going to choose the superstars. And I just don't know if that one is there at this point. So I'll put them in not likely. I'm not going to put them in no chance because I think that, you know, there could be a chance. I could see the character working. You know, I could see the character actually working in the game. So, all right. Next up, we got It the Clown. It the Clown, Pennywise. Pennywise, boys. This character's been pretty popular, to be honest with you. It's got a very signature look. Has a lot of history. It's you know, the classic Pennywise personally is my favorite. You know, I'm a Tim Curry fan, you know, so I would expect that they would have alternate costumes for this character. The clown accoutrements, the different things they could, you know, incorporate into his outfits could be super cool. I think this character's close. I think it could, you know, you could make an argument for the character to be top 4 for sure. You know, with the balloons, all sorts of different options. The only thing is, not a ton of kills. Maybe not a ton of kills under the belt. You know, maybe a little bit more on the horror side, maybe a little bit more fantastical. I still think it could work very well, but I will put them in likely. I'll put Pennywise in likely, just because I think there's a couple of more you know, characters on here that might fit a little bit better for the top 4. All right, next up, we've got Jason Voorhees. Jason is go baby in top 4. I think he's gonna be in top 4. You know, this character's been in a previous Mortal Kombat. He was in Mortal Kombat X. Really sick in Mortal Kombat X. Top tier in Mortal Kombat X. Just all around great choice for the franchise. I think he's going to make a return. And my theory is that Jason will be able to do a Freddy versus Jason. They'll be able to do a Freddy versus Jason thing. I think there's a lot of synergy there to bring back those two characters, you know, in Mortal Kombat 12 and have them recreate that there. Similar to what they did with Alien and Predator, you know, in Mortal Kombat X. So I think that Jason could be a very strong argument for top 4 because of that. All right, from here on out, I'm going to just randomly pick some of these characters from this last row right here, just so we can add a little bit of suspense to the top 4 choices here. So I'm going to start off with one that I think is actually going to go straight to the no chance category, you know. And I don't even know why. I mean, I put this character on here. I thought it was interesting at first, but I got to go with Little Shop of Horrors Plant Monster. I just don't see it. You know, I put this character on here. I was thinking, it might be able to work. There's kind of like some plant monsters in Injustice 2. You know, could do some seedlings, some poison ivy type moves. But then I was thinking, man, you know, the whole song and dance, you know, with the monster and everything. I just think it's gonna be too goofy for Mortal Kombat 12. They're gonna be breaking out into song and stuff. It would be just a little weird. So I think that is going into the no chance. Another one that I think is gonna be not likely is actually the Ring character. I just kind of put him right next to the Grudge, basically, for this exact same reason. I just think this kind of character is, you know, kind of been done. That's not really popular. I mean, you know, it has a fan base, you know, obviously they're on this list, so they're, you know, kind of horror movie icons, but I just don't think it's really popping right now. Okay, another character that I think is probably going to be going into the not likely category is Leatherface. And, here's the thing, Leatherface was a DLC character in Mortal Kombat X. I just can't see them bringing Leatherface back. To me, that would be very frustrating, when there's so many other horror movie characters to choose from that they haven't, decided to bring out yet. It was certainly a surprise when this character appeared in Mortal Kombat X. I think he was a good choice in the end. I think he was super cool. And he kind of fits with all the brutality that he can do. But I would just be kind of mad if they brought him back. So I'm gonna put him in not likely. Okay, another character that I think is going to be going into the no chance category, the coveted no chance category, without a doubt, is probably going to be Negan right here. Negan, part of a horror movie franchise, The Walking Dead. Is it super popular or not? Yes, it is. It's a mega show. But this character was in Tekken 7, so, we had to kind of throw him on this list because, you never know where Negan's going to pop up, start whistling. So it's just one of those things where, I didn't want to leave him off the list, but just thinking about it, I don't know if they're just going to bring him over to Mortal Kombat as well. I feel like the Mortal Kombat dev team would probably think that, oh, well, he was already in Tekken, so why would we want to do him as well? So that would just be Negan overload. But hey, I'll put him in the no chance, but I think he should have been talked about at least, so that's why he's here. Okay, there's another character I want to put in not likely as well, and that character is Gabriel from Malignant. This one, to me, was definitely a sleeper as far as a horror film goes, and I thought that the character of Gabriel was really sick. Definitely deserves to be on this list with horror movie franchise characters. That being said, we've only had one film from this character, and it's kind of a cult, classic at this point. People are kind of into it, but I think we need to see more from this character before they can be seriously considered as a possible option for Mortal Kombat. Okay, let's talk about Terrifier. Man, this character, very interesting. I'll just be full disclosure, I have not seen Terrifier 2 yet. I've seen Terrifier 1, and I've seen the response from Terrifier 2. A lot of people have been saying that it's just an absolutely gruesome film. The first one certainly was, but Terrifier the Clown, takes it to another level here. I can't remember his name, but creepy character. I definitely see this character emerging as one of our new horror movie franchise icons. And, the character is interesting, has some dynamic things. I could see the playstyle of this character actually working in Mortal Kombat, just because, this clown is very versatile with the different types of weapons that they use. And the emoting and just overall physical presence, I think, could really work with the game. So I will say that I would put this character in likely, because I think that this character could definitely work. We got two clowns next to each other right here. I think this character could definitely work. I don't know if I would put him in the top 4 just yet. But I think it's possible. I think it's definitely possible. And, I think if he was picked for Mortal Kombat 12, then it would certainly be a big step up in this clown's fan base as well. All right. Next up, we got Leprechaun. Yes, Leprechaun the clown. I mean, he's not a clown. He's a leprechaun. So magical creature, definitely has some zingers, some one-liners. This character's got personality for days. I I think this character is going to be going into the no chance category, actually. The only reason why is because the character is a little bit more obscure. Definitely, part of horror movie franchise, history here. And I would say, just as relevant as some of these other ones, a little bit above him. The only reason why I put him so low is because I think he suffers from the same issue that Chucky suffers from, which is the hitbox issue, in putting him in the game. So I think also I just can't see it working because of that. And plus he's so obscure. So when you put those two things together, I just don't know if there's a chance. Saw. From the Saw franchise. This character has, emerged in the early 2000s as being one of the premier horror franchises. Definitely, let's play a game, all the whole different things, all the different types of traps. This could definitely be kind of like a setup character in Mortal Kombat 12. And I think people generally respond pretty well to this character as far as a horror movie goes. I think that there is a decent chance of this character, appearing in Mortal Kombat 12. I think it's likely. I just feel like the star power is there. I feel like there's a lot of options that they would have to be able to put down the traps. There's a couple different iterations of the character that you could choose from. To put in the game, and that would make it dynamic enough. I think that I think it's likely. All right, let's go with Pumpkinhead. Pumpkinhead, this character is scary. Big creature, gangly, could definitely be kind of like a boss style character in Mortal Kombat 12. I don't know if Pumpkinhead has that same, street cred as some of these other characters. I know Pumpkinhead has quite a few movies. Definitely, one of those. I mean, as far as visual, effects is concerned, a really cool, like sculpt model of a monster. Pretty recognizable. Generally though, I think that it's probably going to be more of a not likely. I just don't know if this character can ascend to some of these other characters that I see right here. Okay, let's talk about Alien. This character was in Mortal Kombat X and definitely one of the strongest DLCs, at its launch. One of the strongest characters in the game for sure. So much of everything, so many different, things. The reach of the tail, the chip damage, the dot damage from the poison, all these other different things that made this character just so hard to deal with. And generally really well received. I mean, just a super cool character in general. I think this character could likely come back to MK12. I could see them bringing back Alien for sure into MK12. All right, let's talk about Vecna right here. Vecna. This character's pretty recent, from Stranger Things, has definitely got a very cool, unique look to them. Definitely, pretty in the public eye right now. They're pretty popular right now as far as a horror movie character goes. I think that this character is going to be pretty cool in the new season as well, which hasn't come out yet. So we're just going to be seeing more of this character, and I know that Mortal Kombat, they like to do stuff that's like, stuff that's happening. They got movies and different things coming out for the actual characters they're selecting. I think it could work. And so I will put Vecna in likely. I think Vecna is going to go in likely. All right, Big Predator. This character was super cool in Mortal Kombat X. The Alien versus Predator battle, legendary stuff. You know, that Mortal Kombat was rolling out. Also, the franchise continues to release really good movies. Prey was one that I saw a couple, like some months ago. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. I think this is a solid character. A lot of lore to choose from, draw from. Will they bring him back? Maybe. But I think I'm going to put him also in the likely section. I think that, you know, he's kind of in that same boat with Alien, where they've already done both of them. The Alien versus Predator thing was, you know, kind of hype previously, but I think that the Freddy versus Jason is probably going to kind of take over that story arc now. Okay. Let's go with Pinhead. Pinhead? Man, this character is cool. I gotta tell you, I'm a big fan of Hellraiser. Okay, all of the movies are interesting and weird in their own different ways. I mean, it goes off the train tracks, you know, throughout the series. That being said, this is a really cool, iconic horror movie character. I think they could do a ton of really cool things with the fatalities, with the chains, incorporating some of the other creatures, the other Cenobites into, you know, the bloodshed. So I think that this character could definitely be a top 4 character for Mortal Kombat 12. All right. This just leaves Michael Myers, the silent killer. Man, this character has a ton of star power. They're constantly releasing new Halloween films, which have been quite good. I've been liking them. I haven't seen the most recent one. I think so, but I saw the one before that, which was pretty good. I think this character is very recognizable. He's one of the only horror franchise characters that hasn't appeared in Mortal Kombat. That is like, you know, from the Jason, Freddy era. So I think because of all those things, he could definitely be in top 4. So I think it's actually a top 5, actually. I think if they did a top 5 DLC, it wouldn't be out of the, I mean, you know, it's not out of the question, I don't think. I think they could do 5 horror movie pack if they're doing a pack, you know. Pack of 5 is cool. So I think these 5 could be, you know, very likely choices. Now there's one character that I actually just thought of that I left out after looking at this list, and that is Ash Williams from Evil Dead. I'm not sure. At some point, I heard a lot of people say that that character was supposed to be in Mortal Kombat 11. I remember playing the game and then getting an email one day and reading in the bottom terms of service, them mentioning Army of Darkness. So I for sure thought that that character was going to be in Mortal Kombat 11. For some reason, it didn't work out. I know Evil Dead's had their own game since then. I thought that that character could be a really cool choice. But ultimately, it sounds like it's pretty tough to deal with the Evil Dead franchise as far as obtaining the rights. So I don't know if they're going to go through with it. I think I would put, you know, that in likely though. I think I would have to put it in likely. Bruce Campbell, man, that would be whoosh, that'd be 3 points. That'd be a 3-pointer if they were able to get Evil Dead in there. So I'm personally rooting for that one, actually. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys.